is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
They love me. I love them.
Now it's 6, killed in a fire, but still so many questions and no justice or closure. For the first time ever, you will see photos and video of 4 Flora sisters as their loved ones hope the images will bring the truth to light. Good evening to you. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. The fire that killed 4 girls in Carroll County weighs emotionally on a family from coast to coast.
Yeah, tonight they're making a personal plea with pictures and videos they're making public for the first time.
Call 6 Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez has been on this story since 2016, and you bring us the latest tonight, Rafael.
Amanda and Mark, we're talking about those beautiful girls ages 5 through 11. Tonight, state police say the investigation is not a cold case and remains active, and the family is hoping that these pictures and videos will touch your heart. The sisters who lived in Flora loved to cheer. In this video, the eldest sister, Kiana, helps her 7-year-old sister, Carrielle, work on their routine before a competition.
So I always watch them do their routines on the front porch and tell them, oh, you got it. But they worked hard at it. They loved it.
The girls spent the weekend in South Bend at a cheerleading competition before that fatal fire in November 2016. Kiana, Kiara, Carrielle, and Keone were members of the Lafayette Diamonds cheerleading squad. They spent hours after school practicing. It was an activity that made them happy.
Let's record it. Get ready for another part.
And Jackie lives in Delphi. The girls love splashing in her pool and never missed a bowl of her spaghetti.
They love me. I love them. They knew if they needed anything or if they wanted me to do something, they knew I was right there for them and their mom. So it's tough.
This has been devastating for the girls' family across the country. Aunt Leslie is from California, and she prays sharing more about the girls will encourage more tips.
To a person that might know something, first of all, look at the news and look at these 4 babies and do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Your life will be better by just doing the right thing. If you know the truth, tell it.
Tonight, here's how you can help. A $5,000 reward is being offered for any information in connection with the deadly fire. You can make that call, that tip, to 1-800-382-4628. We have that number in this story on the RTV6 app. Now let's take a look at the timeline of the investigation. That investigation and that fire, of course, that killed the girls. It was November 21st, 2016, when the fire broke out at the East Columbia Street home in Flora, the home there. The fire killed all 4 girls and injured their mother. Foul play was not suspected at the time. Months later, investigators ruled the fire intentional, turning it into an arson investigation. By June of 2017, state police reported talking to persons of interest, but said they had no suspects. In October 2017, the NAACP became involved in the investigation, demanding more answers. And we're just learning today that the state police superintendent, he will hold a media briefing tomorrow on this case. We are not expecting any major announcements, simply an update to the latest on the investigation. We will keep you posted. Mark?
Hopefully something comes out of tonight's story too, Rafael. Thank you. It seems like everywhere you turn, there are more orange construction barrels and closures.
And some of the biggest are shutting down parts of the interstate for days at a time, but now police are seeing more crashes. Now RTV6's Paris LaBella is digging into why they are on the rise.
We're here right now on 465 on the southwest side of the city, and this is one of those areas that's seen a number of crashes recently, and state police say overall the numbers are up over last year. But what's behind it? Between construction barrels and full interstate closures, getting around central Indiana can be difficult at times.
We're used to the construction and wrecks ever so often, but it's been really kind of intense lately.
But wrecks have been on the rise this year as well. Last year, between May 1st and May 21st, the interstates in Indianapolis saw 405 accidents. This year, during that same time, there were 528 accidents.
It was pretty crazy. It flew right over the shop, and all the lanes of traffic on 465 in both directions were completely blocked up. I mean, absolute dead stop.
Some of the crashes have been serious, like this one on May 14th at I-465 and Harding Street, after an SUV rear-ended a semi. That crash shut down both sides of I-465 as crews rushed to rescue the driver inside the SUV.
It's been really odd. I'm not sure why we've had such an increase in crashes, but it's been a lot more than normal. It seems like every time I'm going home, we got a crash.
State police say there are a number of factors when it comes to why crashes happen. Police say construction does play a role in some of those crashes. They say whenever drivers are taken off their normal routes and the ways they're familiar with, the potential for more driver error rises. Add to that the increased traffic because of road closures, and police say that can lead to more opportunities for crashes. They say that adds to the distractions that are already out there as well.
People are texting and not paying attention, and it's absolutely necessary to be more careful and watch what's going on.
Police say it also comes down to people not being aware of potential closures and issues along their routes. They say they often find that drivers involved in crashes are not prepared drivers. Their advice, plan your trip out before you leave and do that every day so you know about any potential closures or detours before you even get behind the wheel. The state police say when they do have those construction closures, they do have more troopers out on the roadways. They say it really comes down to drivers, though, to make sure everyone is staying safe. Reporting tonight, Paris Lubell, RTV6.
Thanks, Paris. And now a live look outside from our Weather Now camera network. Right now, we want to take it over to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. Kevin.
We've been talking about warmer temperatures for several days. You're probably wondering, where is the warm air? There it is, down in Evansville, 81 degrees. We're only at 54 in Indy. Warmer air will win out tomorrow. The most widespread rain in the next couple of hours will be from Greenfield, then Newcastle and Rushville east through Connorsville and Richmond. We've got our eye on storms that are to the west. That's where the severe weather threat is this evening. We'll inherit some of the storms, but the greatest severe threat will stay west of us overnight. A low or marginal risk for severe storms here. I'll take you through the timeline in just a little bit. Here's the probability of rain. It goes up while you sleep, and some showers and thunderstorms in the morning. We'll finish that timeline coming up.
And new tonight, thousands of drivers were reported disregarding stopped school buses across the state, and Indiana logged more than 2,500 stop arm violations in one single day.
Yeah, and RTV6's Stephanie Wade gathered the data and is breaking it down district by district for you to get to the bottom of this dangerous driving pattern.
On one single day in April of this year, Indianapolis Public Schools reported a total of 353 cars that ignored the school bus stop arm. Here in Perry Township, the second highest district with violations reported 217.
I would say that's kind of low for a township our size. Every day in Indiana, we have stop arm violations on the school buses.
At the request of the Department of Education, every school district in our state had their bus drivers count how many cars illegally drove past them on April 23rd.
Anytime a driver reports a violation, they have a form that they can come into the office and fill out. And then as soon as they fill this out, it goes right here and we send it right over to the police department.
But for Perry Township schools, this is something they keep track of every day.
Main roads, 37, 31, Madison, Thompson, all those areas are very problematic with the drivers going around the buses. Some of the most dangerous situations happen in our neighborhoods, though.
MSD of Wayne Township says the same thing, which reported 156 violations. Drivers get confused on busier roads like Rockville and Washington, where there's no divider at times, and all 4 lanes are supposed to stop. Because of this, Wayne has opted to install stop arm cameras on all of their new buses coming in this fall.
I would imagine here in Perry Township, our police department's writing tickets for stop arm violations every day.
Perry and IPS say they work closely with law enforcement to raise awareness. IPS runs more than 300 bus routes across the city every day. That's hundreds of students at risk of getting hurt all because of driver negligence or inattention. Other districts like Carmel Clay Schools reported 63 violations that day. Hamilton Southeastern had 87. Warren Township 117, and Lawrence and Washington Township about 100 each.
It just has to all be about safety, and I want to make sure that they understand that the buses are carrying children. If they have any question at all, just make the stop.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Now, we sifted through a lot of data today to get some answers. If you'd like to see the full spreadsheet of Indiana numbers, we've posted them with this story in the RTV6 app and at theindychannel.com. New at 6, crashes involving bicyclists and pedestrians are increasing nationwide year after year. The latest numbers showing nearly 6,000 pedestrians and 800 bicyclists killed in car crashes in 2017. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out locally there's an effort in Fishers to bring awareness to bicycle safety, and it's starting with the youngest members in the community.
This all started after a lesson where local elementary school students were learning about the message behind the Brooks School Road Ghost Bike. And now it's transformed into a collaboration with those elementary school students and the city of Fishers.
What do you got?
David Baldock's second grade class at Brooks School Elementary started learning about symbols in the fall.
They quickly took note of that bicycle out by that speed limit sign. Many of them thought that the bicycle was for sale.
When the students learned the bike is a memorial tribute for 61-year-old Robert Lackey, who was hit by a car and killed while riding his bike last summer, they wanted to do something to bring awareness to bicycle safety.
Mayor Fadness, how are you? I go to Brooks School Elementary.
Second grader Luke McGrath wrote this letter to Mayor Scott Fadness.
There is a bike in front of my school because a biker got hit by a car.
Luke hoped the city would put a sign by the bike to remind drivers to be careful when sharing the road. From there, the collaboration began.
Helmet, check. Sunglasses, check.
The city created this PSA featuring the students that is now airing at local events.
Stop at all stop signs, ride on the road.
I tell you what, there's a lot of wisdom in small kids if you listen to them. So it's not surprising that they recognize an issue and we're passionate about trying to solve it.
I like the green.
Well done.
But the campaign did not stop there. Each student came up with an idea for a new street sign.
They were such good ideas that we printed out each one that got their own individual sign.
One sign will be put up this week. Mayor Fadness says it will be similar to this design created by one of the students.
I feel really happy since we're going to tell people to slow down and watch for bicyclists so there's not a lot of crashes.
It's just spectacular, the fact that the community has gotten behind these children in second grade and supported our cause.
Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Well, it was an era with very few females in the newsroom, but this is one woman who helped change all of that.
Next, how all women, but especially those of color, came to see they could follow her path.
Before the 500 miles on Sunday, USAC will run 3 of its biggest races of the season. Coming up on the news at 6, we'll talk to a driver who will be behind the wheel for all of them and more on a busy weekend.
Tune up for only $89.
For on time.
Welcome back. All this month, we are celebrating Channel 6's 70th anniversary. We signed on May 30th, 1949.
Yeah, and 20 years later, there's still very few women in the newsroom. That slowly started to change with the arrival of Barbara Boyd in 1969. She was the first African-American female television reporter in Indianapolis, and later the first African-American female anchor.
She blazed a trail for countless women to follow.
I tell you, it was not an option for me to fail. Was not an option. Number one, the black community was dependent on me to do well. My family was depending on me to do well. I was depending on me to do well. And what I wanted to do was to sort of lay a path, not only for African American women, but for women, period. I mean, we're the male bastion here. I wanted to prove that women could walk, talk, chew gum, have babies, go home and cook dinner and still do this job. And I think I did that. And, you know, I'm always surprised when I go out on the street. I've been retired 25 years. I'm always surprised that people remember who I am. People come up and say, and they mock, you know, the way I used to say my name. Hi there, Barbara Boyd. Or they'll say, hi, Barbara Boyd, Channel 6 News. Have a great day and stay on top of the world. You know? I remember that stuff, you know. But I got to tell you, This is one of the best jobs I've had.
Good to hear, too. Well, Barbara anchored the noon show with Jack Reinhart and became well-known as the station's consumer reporter.
And she retired in 1994 after 25 years here. Barbara just turned 90 a couple of weeks ago. Somebody was over at that party.
That's right. A very young 90. I think Barbara was the last person to leave the party. How about that? Warm and humid on Carb Day, and will likely stay dry as we go into the weekend, though. Memorial Day weekend, the chance for thunderstorms is there, both Saturday, race day, and into Memorial Day. Okay, we're slowly starting to push the rain east out of the state. Not quite there yet. Newcastle, you know it's still raining. To Knightstown, just north of Rushville. This cuts through Cambridge City, Hagerstown, Fountain City, and Richmond on its way into the Buckeye State. For us tonight, any storms that we inherit from Illinois should be losing strength, but during the overnight hours, a lower marginal risk for a strong storm or two that comes in from the west. 1 o'clock in the morning, there's a line of thunderstorms. Takes its time pushing to the east. That's 4 a.m. just across the Wabash River. Then by 7 a.m. into central Indiana, impacting your morning drive between 7 and 10, still ongoing. Second half of the day, we're drying out and warming up. Any thunderstorms that return would be in southeast Indiana the way it looks. We step up tomorrow, noticeably more humid Thursday, warmest day in the forecast on Friday at 86 degrees. Temperatures tomorrow, even to the north, should hit 80. It's a matter of getting sunshine in there after the morning rain. The wind will be strong out of the south, gusting over 20 miles per hour. A few spots climb into the low 80s. 74 is our average temperature. In the afternoon tomorrow, there's some redevelopment of showers and thunderstorms Greensburg toward Richmond. Thursday, a little bit warmer, a lot more humid. Chance for thunderstorms arrives in the morning. This is 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. A line of showers and thunderstorms moves through. Then a steamy afternoon. As you look at the day on Friday, Carb Day, 82 by 1 o'clock. In the afternoon hours, temperature up to 86 with humidity and a small chance for showers and thunderstorms. Looking toward race day, right now it looks like the more likely time would be during the heat of the day. We go through that quite often this time of year, triggered by the afternoon warmth. As we get to Memorial Day, just a 20% chance for additional thunderstorms.
Right, the holiday looks great.
Not bad.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
Keep an eye on it. Well, we now have another big race to look forward to this summer. The inaugural Grand Prix of Beech Grove go-kart race will take place on June 16th. The Southern Indiana Racing Association is sanctioning the event. Speedway Indoor Karting will be helping to coordinate. They are expecting more than 150 drivers to be part of the day, looking to be among the biggest karting events in the entire state.
We're excited to show everybody just how strong the grassroots side of motorsports is, and very, very thankful to be able to bring it back to a community where I grew up, where my family is from.
Well, the course will be set up on the streets around Beech Grove High School and Hornet Park Elementary.
Looks like fun. Hey, IMS, though, is quiet today, but Downtown Speedway is hopping. Brad Brown joining us live with a look at one big party right there on Main Street. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Mark and Amanda, right here at the USAC headquarters. They've got a new spot right here at 16th and Main Street, and they are showing it off tonight with kind of one of the porch parties here for the month of May. A lot of USAC folks here as they're getting ready for a big week. It is the week of Indy, a trio of races all over the state, and we've got one of the drivers here who will be in all of those, plus a couple of more. Justin Grant is joining us here right now. He's got a win on the season already. When you take a look at kind of where these are and how these go together here, this is a lot for you, but these are three big ones on the list for you here. How's the excitement for this week?
Yeah, you know, week of Indy is always exciting. Everybody's in town and lots of big races kind of back to back, and get to turn a lot of laps and spend a lot of time in the car, and that's what we like to do. You got a win already this season. We're going to show some video. You went back in Ocala early on in this one. Kind of talk about this season. You guys have had some rain to deal with. You've had a lot of guys with a lot of good cars. How's this first 3 months been for you? Yeah, competition's been really tough this year. You know, everybody's really fast, so it's been tight and it's been tough, and that puts on good shows. The weather's been a bit tough, you know, not only for us, for everybody. You know, everybody's getting hit with storms, and it's been pretty rough here at the start of the year. But hopefully, weather will clear out and we can get racing. What's the biggest challenge for you? Different cars, different tracks, asphalt, dirt, back and forth. Being able to get in anything on any given night and make it go right. Yeah. Fortunately, what we do, we get to see a lot of different surfaces and a lot of different types of cars, and it makes it fun. It's a new challenge every time you get in the car, and look forward to it.
Let's take a look at the 3 races that is Week of Indy for USAC. It'll start off tomorrow night, Terre Haute, the Hoosier 100 at the Fairgrounds on Thursday night, the 64th year for that, and then the Silver Crown race at Brownsburg on Friday night. The Hoosier 100, I know, is special for a lot of guys who the last time they're going to run that thing out at the Fairgrounds. Talk about being a part of that historic event one more time.
Yeah. No, it's an honor to get to race there. The greats like Al here and everybody else that's raced there, and to be able to compete at that facility is an honor, and it's a shame it's going away, but I'm sure glad I get to be a part of the last one.
And then the little 500 at Anderson on Saturday, Kokomo on Sunday. Pace yourself, you'll be all right.
Yeah, a lot of laps, but we'll get through it, and got good crews and good sponsors around me, and should be fun.
Awesome, enjoy the week.
Thank you.
Justin Grant set to go here for USAC as they get set to go in Terre Haute tomorrow night. We got a lot more coming up for you here as our night continues as well. Coming up tonight on the news at 11, we'll have our final edition of 2 for the Road. Dave First catching up with James Hinchcliffe, and they are heading to the beautiful downtown Zionsville. Some great chat along the way, and they're going to stop at the Lemon Bar for a bite to eat. That is a Trackside 6 exclusive for you tonight at 11. Finally today, Pacers getting started with their pre-draft workouts. A couple of guys on the court today include Carson Edwards and Derek Smits. Of course, familiar names to basketball fans around here. Start of probably 40 or 50 guys the Pacers will have through here over the next couple of weeks, working toward the NBA draft on June 27th. We'll hear more from Edwards and Smits on the news at 7. We'll be back to the track on Thursday. Another quiet day tomorrow, but we'll have some more coverage for you right here on the news at 6. Time for a final break, then it's back to the studio to wrap up tonight's news at 6. Next.
Drying out in Indy right now. That means it rains off to the east toward Newcastle and Richmond. Then it returns later tonight. So overnight, rain and thunderstorms become more likely. It will be a part of our Wednesday morning. There are the scattered thunderstorms at 7 a.m. By 10, thinning out a little bit, and we wave goodbye by 1.
Bye.
And temperatures, we say hello to 80. How about that?
That's warm
right.
enough.
Goodbye, hello, how are you?
It wouldn't be race weekend without 80-degree temperatures.
Without that, that's right.
We'll see you at 7.
Thanks for joining us.